You think he's gonna be okay?
No.
He's tougher than he looks. Consider it done.
Now, how do we open this thing?
You can come out now.
A ninja? What the?
Arsenal's going to take off. We still need you to take care of a few things. This time, don't fail us.
Snake, what's this all about?
Bedtime, Raiden. I wouldn't do that.
You're changing sides now?
Change sides? I don't recall saying I was on yours.
Damn it. You!
Ready for some shut-eye?
So say farewell to the big show, because we ain't going back, and it's being destroyed. I'll kind of miss it. I don't really love the big show, but it's got some memorable areas.
Is he still alive?
He was when Olga brought him in. I've checked everything, including the genome data, but there's nothing on this guy. NSA, CIA, FBI. He doesn't exist in any database. He's a non-existent operative from a non-existent organization.
I suspected as much. However, I know this man. Wake him up.
Getting that deja vu again. There are no continues, my friend.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Jack the Ripper?
You know this fellow?
You remember me, don't you? You've grown.
So thankfully this isn't nearly as bad as it is in
implants. Have they altered your
Metal Gear
memory
Solid 1. It's much easier. You don't have to actually destroy your finger this time. And it only happens that one time. Well, technically, it happens again later, but right now it only happens once.
This is my son. I taught him everything. Jack, I never thought I'd see you again.
You know me?
You don't remember. Your name, your skills. Everything you know, you learned from me. The 80s. The Civil War. You were one of the best among the child soldiers that fought in that conflict. When you were barely 10 years old, you became the platoon leader of the Small Boy Unit. At the time, your outstanding kill record earned you several nicknames, including White Devil and Jack the Ripper. Jack, I was your godfather. I named you. When the war ended, you disappeared from the relief center. I wondered what happened to you. I should have known they would recruit you.
I think this was another one of those things that people really wanted to see in Phantom Pain, because the timeline would have kind of added up.
It's an interesting coincidence.
If he's a lackey for the Patriots, I doubt he knows anything of interest.
What should we do with him?
We'll use him like you suggested.
What about Dead Cell?
Ignore them. Happening again?
Could it be that he's here too?
In another hour, we demonstrate the power of Arsenal gear.
Attack with standard weapons, of course.
Yes, proceed as planned.
At last report, all is well with GW.
How about the troops?
The men are being refitted with Arsenal gear equipment as ordered. You're the spitting image of Big Boss.
Is that so? Perhaps I should be grateful to this kid for that.
I always forget that Solidus starts this game with 2 eyes, and it's after the boss battle with the Harrier that he loses one. I always forget that. I always
This
think he always has
situation,
the 1 eye.
I find it very nostalgic.
Where am I?
Why, inside Arsenal gear, of course. Actually, we're also inside the memory of Shadow Moses. I'll take this back. You don't need this anymore, do you? A foul wind is blowing. We shall speak again.
Don't move. Stay as you are. We're being monitored by a camera.
What are you up to?
I'm switching over to nanocommunication.
Mr. X? Ninja?
Correct. It's me.
I thought you were the leader of the Russian troops.
No, that was just a smokescreen.
A smokescreen?
I was sent to provide you support.
Support? Who sent you? The Colonel?
No, the Patriots.
What?
I deceived my troops, betrayed them.
But why?
My child is being held hostage by the Patriots. It all started 2 years ago when I lost my father during the tanker incident. My men and I had nowhere to go, so we joined forces with an illegal Russian organization.
The Russian Mafia?
Something like that, actually. I learned much later that it was a subordinate organization of the Patriots. I was expecting at the time. When I gave birth to my child, it turned out I was in a hospital run by the Patriots. In the morning, my child was gone. My baby is being kept somewhere in this country.
Have you ever met your child?
No. Once a month, they send me a photo of my child via network. I've never even held the child in my own arms.
I see. Given your situation, nobody can blame you for what you did.
That's your opinion.
What about Snake? I thought you were enemies.
He wasn't responsible for my father's death. Actually, we owe him our lives. 2 years ago, they were responsible for getting us out of the sinking tanker alive.
So you were partners since the incident?
No, I only found out the truth shortly before this.
Huh?
When I confronted him here.
You fought with Snake? When?
Well, it was around the time you were holding hands with that girl.
Snake. So you joined hands with him to pay back a debt?
No, mutual gain.
Mutual gain?
My job was to assist you. If Solidus gets away with Arsenal, your mission is a failure. The Patriots would judge that as failure on my part and terminate my child. Putting it simply, my child's life depends on your success.
So you did it all for your child. But why would the Patriots want to help me? Are they hoping I'll take Solidus out?
No, you're just like me. We're just pawns.
Pawns for what purpose?
The S3 plan.
Huh?
You'll figure it out sooner or later, but I wonder if you'll handle the truth.
What do you mean?
Listen, we haven't got time for this. Solidus will commence his attack any minute. He's got to be stopped.
What about the virus?
No results so far. I think the Patriots have tampered with the program.
Will it work?
I don't know.
Get me out of this thing.
Not yet. I'll release your restraints after I leave this room.
Where's my gear?
Snake's got everything. I couldn't bring it here.
And where do I find Snake?
The passageway ahead leads to a hangar. He'll be waiting there. I gave him a card key for the hangar.
Does Snake plan to destroy Arsenal gear?
No, even for Snake, it's impossible to completely destroy this thing. The only option is to stop Solidus and his men.
What are you going to do?
Stay concealed. That's my role. I still can't afford to be discovered.
Olga, you can't keep this up. They're bound to find you.
Listen, I'll free you in a little while. Brace yourself.
So, unfortunately, this isn't quite like the escape sequence in Metal Gear Solid 1. You know, we don't have to wait for someone and then lay down on some ketchup or figure some other way out of here. We basically, you just gotta wait. You just gotta wait it out. Which is kind of unfortunate, but whatever.
Jack, are you all right?
Oh, yeah.
Jack, is it true? What Solidus said?
Yes.
It's unbelievable. Drafting small children, sending them to war? It's not allowed under international conventions.
ICC rules don't mean a lot in war. Someone told me that there are over 300,000 children in combat right now. I was just one of them.
So you remember. I thought your memory had been manipulated by them.
It was. But I have nightmares every day. Pieces of the past I can't put together.
Why didn't you tell me?
You couldn't begin to understand.
You wouldn't know that until you try me.
I didn't want you to get hurt. There was never a real reason for me to fight, except that someone put a gun in my hand. And that someone was him.
It wasn't your fault.
If I survived the day's fight, I was praised, fed, and had a bed to sleep in. I think I was only 6 when I held my first AK. But I'm not even sure of that.
Jack.
I'm not like Snake. I never questioned why we fought. There was no purpose, no way out. They give you a gun, you ask how many to kill. If you didn't, you were the one they shot instead.
It's okay. No one is blaming you.
We were shown Hollywood action films every day. The kind with macho guys and big guns. They call it image training.
Ugh.
They built us from the ground up into killing machines. We were fed once a day. I can still taste the gunpowder they mixed into the food.
Gunpowder? In the food?
The gunpowder had toluene in it, giving it hallucinogenic properties. It kept us drugged, controllable.
Oh my God!
When the Civil War ended, those of us who survived were taken in by NGOs. They gave me a new life in the States. I can't complain. But nothing's changed. The only people who have no problem with my past have secrets and agendas of their own. Terrible nightmares. Every night. I can never forget.
Jack.
I'm afraid of the night. That's why I don't sleep next to you.
You should have told me.
Told you what? That I'm a killer? And always have been?
No. No.
What I hate more than anything else in the world is my own past. I didn't want you or anyone to know about it. Now I know why I was chosen for this mission. No one can take him on, take him down, except me. I've been kept alive this long for this. I knew as soon as I saw Solidus.
Jack, I love you the way you are now. You have to believe me. I didn't know anything about you, I admit that. where you were born, how you grew up. But I know that now. And I know that what I feel for you can only get better. And I'll share in your past if that's the price.
It doesn't work that way. No one can share the burden of what I've done. It's not one of those warm and fuzzy things couples share.
I accept the good and the bad, Jack. That's what you do for someone you love.
I don't want to share my past with anyone. I just want to forget about it.
Jack, I haven't told you, about what I've done.
The last 2 years with you, it's been more than I've ever hoped for.
Jack.
But I can't go any farther. I know you want to get married. But I can't. I can't risk starting a family. There's no way to erase my childhood.
It's all right, Jack. Please, don't say any more.
So this is now probably my favorite part of the entire game. This part is so unnerving, so creepy, so oppressive. I love this part of the game. The Arsenal Gear part of the game is probably... It makes all of the big shell completely and totally worth it. I love this section to death. I wish it was longer, because there's really only one stealth sequence, and that's this room right here in the Jejunum. This is where the game really picks up and gets really, really memorable.
Raiden, do you copy? You must continue your mission.
I've lost all my gear. I need to locate Snake.
He was never factored into the simulation. Leave him out of this.
I can't do much naked, especially in this temperature.
That's true. You won't be able to attack or enter the hanging mode either.
I think Snake has my gear.
Raiden, take out Solidus and his men. You must recover Arsenal intact.
Colonel, are you under orders from the Patriots?
Your role, that is, mission, is to infiltrate the structure and disarm the terrorists.
My role? Why do you keep saying that?
Why not? This is a type of role-playing game. The point is that you play out your part, and I expect you to turn in a perfect performance.
Colonel, I just remembered something.
What?
That I've never met you in person. Not once.
Complete your mission, according to the simulation.
Colonel, who are you?
No more questions. We have Rosemary.
What do you mean by that?
Over and out.
Oh, that gives me shivers every time. Just Raiden saying, Colonel, I've never met you in person, is so creepy. So this is a big sneaking section. It's probably the hardest sneaking section in the game, because you really don't have anything on you. Like I said, I wish this was longer. I wish this was multiple screens instead of just one room. But you're going to get increasingly more and more bizarre codecs throughout this entire room. And they're great. They're probably my favorite part of the entire game. And there's a couple that I really hope that we get. There's one in particular that cracks me up every single time I see it. But we're gonna hope, we're gonna pick up every single codec and hope that this guy, and hope that these guys don't ever see me. So Raiden can actually catch a cold here. There's cold medicine around. If you stay in this area too long, he'll just start sneezing.
Raiden, turn the game console off right now.
What did you say?
The mission is a failure. Cut the power right now.
What's wrong with you?
Don't worry, it's a game. It's a game just like usual.
You'll ruin your eyes playing so close to the TV.
What are you talking about?
Raiden, something happened to me last Thursday when I was driving home. I had a couple of miles to go. I looked up and saw a glowing orange object in the sky, to the east. It was moving very irregularly. Suddenly, there was intense light all around me, and when I came to, I was home. What do you think happened to me?
Huh?
Fine. Forget it.
Just the music that plays here, it's so creepy. I've said this 1,000 times, but Kojima needs to make a straight horror game.
Even my patience has its limits. I just can't leave this thing up to you any longer. I'll do the fighting. You can just go home.
That's a really funny one. I like the idea of Colonel Campbell just saying, alright, you're out of here, I'm doing this. But yeah, this one part of this game is scarier than any other horror game I've ever played. Like, this part rules so much. So the biggest thing that we have to worry about now is that there's a camera over here and a guy. So we have to make sure that neither... Oh, great. Neither of these things see me. Hopefully, if I stay over here, that guy's not going to see me. This is really the only thing in front of us and freedom from this area.
Infiltrate the enemy fortress. Outer Heaven. Destroy the final weapon. Metal Gear.
Okay, so that's one of the ones I wanted to get. That's obviously the briefing from the original Metal Gear game, which is cool to actually hear that, like, acted out by Paul Eating. And this is when Paul Eating, I think, is at his best. This is his best performance as Campbell, or whoever this character might be. Because they've never actually identified themselves as Campbell. He's just the Colonel in this game. That's kind of interesting. But there's one more that I hope I get. I hope this is it, please.
Honestly, though, you have played the game for a long time. Don't you have anything else to do with your time?
That's another good one, but not quite the one that I wanted. We still have some chances for it. We're gonna get like a bunch of them in the next room. But yeah, this is it. The ending of this game, I will say, I genuinely love the ending of this game. From when we get like the sniping section with Emma till the end of the game is fantastic, but it really feels a little bit rushed. There's some things that feel a little half-baked, I will say. If I'm not mistaken, those are Japanese subway lines, and I think they're the same ones that the boss AI pod. It paused on Raiden's Grundle.
Variety level 13.
Hey, look at that. That's the
Rescue
only bit of
Meryl,
Meryl you're
the
ever going to
return
see
of
in this
Enola.
game. But there's one that he has that absolutely cracks me up every time I think about it. Campbell just calls you up and he says, "I'm not doing well financially." Just the idea of that is so funny to me.
I hear it's amazing when the famous purple stuffed worm in Flapjaw Space with the tuning fork does a raw blink on Harry Carey Rock. I need scissors. 61.
I need scissors. 61 is such a great one. That's a very iconic one too, but just the idea of the Colonel calling you, you're expecting some big, like, serious conversation, and then all of a sudden he starts it by going, "I'm in really rough shape financially." It's just such a funny thing to have happen in this game. But yeah, this part is phenomenal. I just wish it'd gone on a little bit longer.
Your mission is to infiltrate the Fortress Galluade, rescue the hostages, and neutralize Metal Gear before its assembly is complete.
God damn, they're just rapid fire now. I think this is the last one, though.
Jack, it's me.
Hi, Rose.
This is
Jack,
another, like, this
I
one,
owe
my
you an
heart
apology.
sinks every single
Because
time I
about that
listen to this one.
conversation just now,
There is such
I'm
a
the one who's sorry.
creepy moment
No,
at the end
it's
of this
something
one.
else.
Genuinely scarier than anything
That day at
else
Federal Hall 2
in any
years
other
ago,
game I've ever played.
It wasn't a coincidence. I was ordered to keep an eye on you.
Keep an eye on me.
Yes, by the Patriots.
You're a spy?
I suppose. Yes. It's an ugly word. Are you still there?
Was sleeping with me a part of the job?
I fell in love with you.
How could anyone?
I can't excuse what I did. I've reported every detail of your personal life to them these 2 years. What you did, said, everything.
Must have been fun.
But some things I didn't tell anyone. Like what I felt for you.
So that's why you were involved in this mission. I should have known. Why else would they toss an analyst into the mix at the last minute?
I'm sorry. I know what I did was wrong.
No matter where I go, I get used.
I reinvented myself to suit your tastes. Hairstyle, clothes, the way I moved, things I talked about. You say you love the color of my hair, my eyes. They're not even real.
You must have gone over my psych profile with a fine-tooth comb.
It was my job.
Great performance. Had me completely fooled.
What I really wanted was for you to see the real me. It hurt to play out this artificial romance. It was worse to lie to myself than to you. The more love you gave me, the more it hurt. Because I knew the person you loved was just a character.
So it was artificial on my end too. It was just a game, not the real thing.
Oh, Jack.
I feel better knowing that.
What?
I was in love, or thought I was, with someone who didn't exist. I was trying to be someone I wasn't by loving what wasn't real. I don't know who you really are. The person I knew isn't real. She's not the woman I'm talking to right now. In a sense, the deception was my own, not theirs.
Jack, I thought I was acting because that was my job. But I did fall in love with you. That wasn't an act.
You expect me to believe that? It's okay. You had your reasons, right? Hey, I understand, but I have nothing left to...
Jack!
What?
I'm carrying. I'm pregnant, Jack.
Rose, what's going on?
Oh, that gives me goosebumps. That's so creepy.
Amazing how you walk around like that.
Snake!
Been waiting long?
Where's my gear?
Right over there. That's more like it. Everything you had when you were captured is still there. Sorry about earlier. I had to use you as bait to gain access to Arsenal. It worked.
Why didn't you tell me about Olga?
You never asked. Not happy about that? Get over it.
Any effects of the virus yet?
Still waiting on that.
So, it was rigged by the Patriots?
Looks like it. From what I can tell, Arsenal is headed for Manhattan. I don't know what Solidus is planning, but we'll have to deal with it one way or another. There's also a troop of production model Rays ahead.
How many units?
25, according to Olga.
25?
Yeah. Can't say I've faced that many Metal Gears before, but I think we can deal.
No way we can.
We can, because we have no other choice.
How?
I've stocked up on Stinger missiles. Oh yeah, Olga left this for you.
Why?
Olga asked me to give it to you. Besides, I'm not a big fan of blades.